Welcome to my April video. So I hope you enjoy this. So we're going to start with our feet together at the front of the mat, gently closing our eyes, focusing on the breathing, thinking about elongating the inhale and the exhale, breathing in and out through the nose. Gentle constriction at the back of the throat to make your ujjayi breathing. Lifting up through the kneecaps, tightening the quads. Gentle constriction just below your belly button. And taking your shoulder blades down your back. Then gently blink your eyes open and come to the front of the mat, and we'll start off with our Surya Namaskar A. So inhaling, taking your palms together, looking up to your thumbs, exhaling, forward fold, palms to the floor, bending the knees if you need to. Inhaling, looking forward, exhaling, stepping or jumping back into that high plank. You can come down onto your knees if you need to, chaturanga low plank. Inhaling, up dog, and exhaling, down dog. Holding your down dog for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up, looking up to your thumbs, and back to Samastitihi. And again, inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back into the high plank. On your knees or your toes, chaturanga low plank. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. One, really pressing down to the thumb and the index. 2, lowering your heels to the floor. 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, forward fold, tucking the head in. Inhaling, coming all the way up. And back to Samastitihi. And again, inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back into the high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. One, so your feet are about hip width apart. 2, your knees can be bent if you need to. You're trying to get your back straight. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, step or jump forward. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up, looking up to the thumbs, and back to Samastitihi. And again, inhale, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, palms to the floor if you can. Inhale, looking forward, keeping the palms there, flat. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, chaturanga. Inhaling up dog, shoulder blades down your back. Exhaling down dog. One, really trying to take some weight into your heels. Two, if your heels are down, try lifting your toes. Three, four, and five. Inhale, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, forward fold, tucking the head in. Inhale, coming all the way up. And back to Samasthiti. The last one. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. One, thinking about your breathing. Two, slowing it down. Three, broadening over the shoulder blades. Four, looking back to the knees or the belly button. And five, inhale, looking forward. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up. And back to Samasthiti. Now Surya Namaskar B, so bending the knees in the inhale, looking up. Exhaling, forward fold, hands to the floor. Inhale, look forward. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back into the high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step forward with the right foot. Warrior one. Exhaling, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step forward with the left foot. Warrior one. Exhaling, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Holding here for 5. 1. 2. Really taking the weight into your heels. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees in the inhale. And back to Samasthiti. And again, bending the knees in the inhale. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back, high plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog, shoulder blades down. Exhaling, down dog. Stepping forward with the right, left heel comes down. Warrior one. Exhaling, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step forward with the left foot. Right heel down. Virabhadrasana. Exhaling, hands to the floor. High plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. One. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees on the inhale. And back up to Samasthiti. And last one, bending the knees on the inhale, looking up. Exhale, forward fold, palms to the floor. Keep the palms there, inhale. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, high plank. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step forward the right. Warrior one, sinking low. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank, chaturanga, all on the exhale. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step forward with the left. Warrior one. Exhaling, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Slowing the breathing down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, stepping or jumping forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees on the inhale, looking up and back to Samasthiti. Then going to take your feet so they're hip width apart, hands on the hips. Inhale, fill the chest, and exhale, forward fold, tipping from the hips, coming all the way down, grabbing hold of your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, forward fold. So really trying to pull up on your fingers and pushing down on the fingers with your big toes. 1, taking your weight into the toes. 2, little micro bend behind the knees. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. And back to Samasthiti. I'm going to step out to the right for Trikonasana. So your feet are about 3 feet apart. Back heel just slightly turned in. Tipping towards the back of the room and coming all the way down. Grabbing hold of the big toe. Aiming for the front knee to be straight if you can. Gaze is up to the top hand. 1, really trying to extend the top of the head to the back of the room. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to come into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. So taking our right hand just in front, it can be on a block on the fingers or on the palm of your hand, lifting up through the back leg. And then if you have your balance, you can gently take your gaze to the top hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently take your foot back down, pivot round, tilting to the front, coming down, grabbing hold of the big toe of the left foot, gaze to the top hand, 1, extending that top head to the front, 2, 3, making sure you've got some weight into the little toe of the back foot, 4, and 5, looking down, taking the left hand forward, lifting up through the back foot, getting your balance, and then bringing your head round to look at the top hand if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looking down, stepping all the way back, and coming back to the front of the mat. Now we're coming wide again, stepping wide into Parsvakonasana. You're going to come into a slightly wider stance, coming into a lunge and taking your hand down to the inside of that back foot, taking the top hand, the left hand up to the ceiling, really trying to push the upper arm into the knee to open it up. 1, making sure you've still got some weight in that back foot, the baby toe. 2, make sure your knee hasn't migrated in front of the ankle, you're not collapsing in. 3, 4, and 5. Staying there, taking that left hand down to the floor. You're going to twist, you're going to pivot round onto the left toes and take the right arm up towards the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pivoting round, coming up, and then lunging on the other side. So bending through the left leg, coming into 90 degrees, left hand onto the inside of your left foot, and right hand all the way up to the ceiling. Gazes to the top hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right hand comes down to the mat, up onto the back toes, and taking your twist with your left hand up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bringing your hand down, coming back up and stepping back to the front of the mat. Now we're stepping wide again to our Prasaritas. So our feet are roughly 3 feet apart and our toes are slightly pointed in. Taking your hands to the hips, inhaling, filling the chest, and exhale, forward fold. You're taking your hands to the floor for Prasarita A. So the hands are roughly shoulder width apart. Fingernails and toenails can be level or your hands slightly further back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. 1, so tilting the weight forward into the toes. 2, elbows together behind you. 3, as if you've got a beach ball between your elbows. 4, 5. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale. Inhaling again. Exhaling, we're coming into D. So our first 2 fingers are coming round our big toes, gripping them. Inhale, look forward. And exhaling, elbows go out to the side. 1. Really pulling up on the toes and pushing down the toe with the big toe into the fingers at the same time. 2. Elbows are out to the side. 3. Weights forward. 4. And 5. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, back to the front of the mat. Now we're coming into our balance. So you're going to take your left leg up. So I'm doing the opposite. So you're going to lift your left leg and you're going to take your opposite arm, so your right arm, onto the outside of your left foot, and you're going to try and straighten that foot. Knees can be bent if you need to. And then you're taking the left arm out behind you, and if you've got your balance, you can take your gaze behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Taking that down, swap sides. So your weight is in your left leg and you're lifting up your right, taking your left arm onto the outside of that lifted foot, straightening as much as you can, and then taking the right arm behind, and the gaze can go behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And bringing that foot down, back to Samastitihi. So we're coming into a Hindi squat. So you're staying facing the front and coming down into your squat. I'll just face you. So you're wanting your heels to be down on the mat, maybe about the width of your mat apart. If your heels are not down, maybe put a couple of blocks or books underneath your heels just to take some weight, and pushing your knees out and hands into prayer position. 1, trying to straighten the back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're taking your hands forward. We're coming into Bakasana. It's taking the weight into your hands, looking forward so that the knee is coming onto the upper arm, and you're coming into your balance, lifting one foot, maybe the other foot, and so that the big toes trying to touch them, so it can be one foot up, other foot up. Your gaze has got to be in front, lifting and going for the balance, holding for 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can either just put your toes down and step into high plank, or you can try jumping back. Then inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog. Holding your down dog, catch your breath. Then we're stepping through into warrior 1. Special request for warriors. Happy to take requests. Inhale, warrior 1. 1. Making sure your front knee's not collapsing in. 2. Taking the weight into the back foot. 3. Maybe going lower. 4. Arms are straight. And 5. Opening out into warrior B. Might need to adjust your stance. sinking low, 1, gazes down the middle finger of the front hand, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're taking your hands forward, coming into warrior 3, lifting up the back leg into a T shape, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Taking that back foot down, hands to the floor, step back into high plank, chaturanga, inhaling up dog, exhale down dog, stepping forward with the left foot, warrior 1 on the left, sinking low, 1, 2, watching that front knee, 3, 4, and 5. Opening out, sinking low, 1, making sure your back hand isn't drifted down, 2, relax the shoulders, 3, 4, and 5. And taking your hand forward, lifting that back foot, warrior 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stepping that foot down, taking your hands down, stepping back into high plank, chaturanga low plank, inhaling up dog, exhale down dog, coming into pigeon next. So you're going to take your right foot forward, so your right knee is close to your right wrist. You want to try and wiggle that left leg back a bit, maybe lifting the foot slightly forward on the right foot, then coming all the way down. So you should be feeling it into your right buttock and lying down as low as you can. 1, 2, really trying to relax into this posture. 3, 4, and 5. Staying there, just coming up, coming into a twist here. So you're going to take your left arm across onto the outside of your left knee, coming into a prayer. You can either stay up, or if you are comfortable, you can take your head and shoulder down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then bringing yourself up, stepping back into that high plank, chaturanga low plank, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog. I'm going to step forward with the left, pigeon on the left, so left knee towards left wrist, wiggle that right leg back a bit, and then bring yourself down to sleeping pigeon, whatever's comfortable. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming up. Then you're taking your twist, so you're going to take your right elbow across to the right knee, taking your hands into prayer, and then if it's comfortable, take your head and shoulders down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring yourself back up, stepping back into that high plank, chaturanga low plank, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog, and stepping or jumping through to your seated position. Coming into Marichyasana A. So you're going to flex through your right leg to start with, bringing it close to your bottom, so you've got about hand width between your foot and your thigh. And I want you to try leaning as far forward as you can, maybe holding onto your foot and pulling yourself forward so that you can try and get your right arm round the front of the shin of the right leg, taking it behind, and then take this opposite arm really high and sweep it round, aiming for the bind. And if you've got your bind, then go for your forward fold, aiming for your nose or your chin towards your knee. 1, 2, 3, make sure you're flexing through that straight leg. 4, so your toes are pointed up. And 5. Inhale, sitting up, coming into C. So bring that leg, that foot slightly closer to your thigh, really crossing over your body and twisting. And you want to lean forward and take the arm as far forward as it will go. So you can either stay in this position, or if you're aiming for the bind, you're rotating your arm round your knee, sweeping that arm top and round, aiming for the twist. 1, really flexing through the straight leg. 2, looking over your shoulder. 3, within each exhale, maybe go for that extra bit of twist. 4, and 5. Inhaling, looking forward. We'll cross, we'll lift, we'll take a vinyasa, stepping or jumping back, high plank, chaturanga, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog, stepping or jumping back through to the front, to the other side, and that's migrating. Taking the left leg, so you've got a good hand width between your foot and your thigh, leaning forward on the inside of the knee, really pulling yourself forward, and then go for the twist round the front of your calf, sweeping that arm, the opposite arm round to go for the bind. Once you've got your bind, straighten your body and forward fold, flexing through the foot on the right leg. 1, 2, if you haven't got your bind, maybe get a strap and try and pull your hands together. 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, sitting up, and then coming for Marichyasana C. So taking the knee across your chest, Cross your thigh, taking your right arm over to the outside of the knee, taking your weight forward, twisting the arm round and the top arm round and back. Aiming for the bind, sitting up tall. 1, looking over your right shoulder. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming to the front, crossing and lifting, taking your vinyasa, stepping or jumping back into high plank, chaturanga, low plank, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog, and then stepping or jumping back through to the front of the mat. Coming into our Navasana, our boat pose. So coming up onto the buttocks, balancing, your knees can be bent. You can hold on to your knees and take your hands forward, or you can lift your feet up and point your toes. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Crossing, lifting, and we'll do another one. Choose your position. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Crossing, lifting. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Crossing, lifting, stepping, jumping, high plank, chaturanga, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog. We'll come down onto our knees. We're going to do dolphin. So you're coming down onto your elbows. You can hold on to your upper arms, interlace your hands into a basket, but you're not putting your head down. But you're coming into a similar position like your down dog, but your feet are a wee bit closer. And what you're wanting to do is take your weight forward and back. You're staying up on your toes, really coming up on your toes. And you're going to do 5, inhaling, exhale, and aiming to get your nose on the floor in front of your hands. So do what you can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and come down and rest. It's a great one to prepare you for your headstands. Gives you lots of strength in your arms. Okay, coming back into your high plank, chaturanga, low plank, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog, and coming down onto your knees. We'll do our quad stretch. So staying with your knees down, you can either sit here, if you're feeling it in your quads, you can come back into your hands, lift your bottom, or you can come down onto your elbows, lifting your bottom, inhaling 1, knees are on the floor, 2, lifting your bottom, 3, head goes back, 4, and 5. Coming down, you're going to tuck your toes under. This really helps to stretch the bottom of your feet. So coming back onto your hands, Go to your elbows if you want, I can't quite manage that. Lifting up through your hips, tilting your head back, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then coming down to lying on your back. Going to do our bridge. So our heels are just slightly wider than the bottom. Our toes are pointed in. You're going to come up onto your shoulders, maybe walking them underneath your back. Hands can be touching your heels or clasped underneath. And really puffing that chest up. Inhaling, 1, 2, pushing through the feet, lifting your hips, 3, 4, and 5. Coming down. You can do that posture again, or you can come into full wheel. So taking your arms up and over, down beside your head, lifting up to the hips, lifting onto your head. You can stay here, or you can push all the way up, really trying to straighten the legs. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming down onto the head, rolling down onto your back, knees into the chest, catch your breath, then rolling all the way up and coming into a forward fold, starting with your knees bent, and then gradually, if it's comfortable, you can try and straighten the legs and relax the back. And then inhale, coming up, crossing your legs, taking a lift, stepping or jumping back into that high plank, chaturanga, inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog, and then stepping or jumping back through to your seated. Going to come into shoulder stand, so lying down on your mat. And you're going to lift your legs up. You can either, if you don't want to be shoulder stand, you can stay here, or you're trying to push your legs up and taking your hands to the base of your spine. You want to walk your hands down your back as much as possible, elbows come in as close as possible, pointing your toes up to the ceiling. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, stay here for 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Into Halasana. So plow, taking your toes over your head, nice and slowly, keeping your legs straight. And if your toes reach the ground, you can release your hands from your back. If they're not on the ground, keep your hands there for support. Hands are interlaced, toenails are on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So release the hands onto the floor, and you're going to gradually coming down, keeping the legs straight, rolling down one vertebra at a time, nice and slowly, till your legs come down last. Really good abdominal exercise. Slow, 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 till your feet come down. Then we'll come into fish pose or Matsyasana. So you're going to lift up through the chest, keeping your bottom on the floor and take your head back to the floor. So really puffing up to the chest, then your palms come down either side of your buttocks or underneath your buttocks. Inhale, 1, really puffing up to the chest. 2, if the head isn't reaching the floor, put a block underneath it. 3, 4, and 5. Keeping the head in that position. We're going to lift the legs to 45 degrees and taking the hands nice and arms nice and straight, again into prayer position at 45 degrees. Hands touching. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower the legs, lower the hands, and gradually roll yourself back up to seated, crossing your legs, stepping or jumping back into high plank, chaturanga, inhaling, up dog, exhaling, down dog, and stepping or jumping back through to the front of your mat. So we'll come into our lotus position. So your legs can be crossed. You can go into half lotus or full lotus. If you're going to half lotus, maybe alternate your legs. Taking your hands on your knees, overlapping your index finger with your thumb, sitting nice and tall, gently gazing down or closing the eyes. Bringing your breathing back under control. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then coming into our last posture, Utputiti. So if you're in full lotus, you can go ahead and lift. If you're not in lotus, then straighten your legs, taking your hands down by your side, and you're going to lift your bottom and swing it behind you so your back is arched. So inhale and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhaling, bottom down, crossing, lifting, taking your last vinyasa, stepping or jumping back, chaturanga, inhaling up dog, exhale the down dog, and stepping or jumping back through to the front of your mat. So I'm going to leave you to do your own relaxation. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll hopefully post another video next time I get a chance. But gently lie back in your own time on your mats with your palms up and take a nice relaxation. Thank you.